That I want to mention when your body does not accept a man or does not take to a man is that you will never be able to fall asleep in his presence. You will not feel safe in this man's presence, and it can be subtle things, like small things, like, yeah, I don't trust you. It's because deep down inside your spirit team knows there's something off with this man. Your spirit will not take to him no matter what he does, no matter how much he proves himself to be somebody who will keep you safe. You just don't fucking trust him. That's another fucking sign. Your body is telling you, leave his ass alone.
Girl, if you keep getting UTIs with that man and you were not getting UTIs before, it was not a recurring issue before, but it is with him. It is a consistent issue with him. All I'm going to say is that your body knows before you do. Your body will reject someone before you know that they are not the right person. So just keep that in mind. I do not wish that upon anybody, but listen to your body. Never ignore your intuition and never ignore how your body responds to somebody. Oof, do not force it. He might not be the one for you.
This video is all about how a woman's body can physically reject a man she is not meant to be with. I never thought of that. I know, it really sounds a little out there, right? But honestly, I learned a lot from this video, and I think there is something we can all take away from it, whether you're a man or a woman. So just stick around because I'm going to break down what I found really intriguing and what surprised me the most.
Something I wish I knew when I first started dating was that your body will give you signs that the person you're with is not right for you before your brain does. Every time I've been with someone that's not right for me, which I'm gonna be so transparent, that's been every time, my body has always given me a sign that I didn't notice or didn't pay attention to at first. I cannot believe I'm gonna share this on TikTok. I swore I was gonna take this to the grave, but for the sake of making a point, I feel like I have to share this. So a couple years ago, I started seeing this guy, and every time we were together, my stomach would be a war zone, okay? Now, if you know me, you're probably thinking, that's not weird for you. You have stomach issues, like your stomach hurts all the time. This was different though. Like every time we were together, I would be like, I'm sorry, I have to leave because I'm gonna go fit myself. Every time I was around this guy, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't even swallow, frankly, because it would just go straight through me. It got to the point where it was so bad that I felt like we couldn't hang out anywhere where there wasn't a bathroom immediately available to me. That's not normal. So this one particular date we went on, oh God, for some reason I thought it was a good idea to go like 30 minutes out of town to like have a little picnic with the sunset, okay? Sounds like cute in theory, right? So all day before this date, I feel great. I feel amazing actually. And then an hour before the date when he's like, I'm coming to pick you up in an hour, it starts brewing, something's brewing. Immediately when I enter his car, I realize this is the worst idea I've ever had. Like, you know that feeling in your stomach when you feel like you're just gonna like shit your pants? That's how I felt, and I was determined to will it away. I was like, nope, this isn't happening. I'm just gonna like put myself in a mental state to make this go away. As soon as we got there though, nope, the feeling returned, and we are 30 minutes out of town and not a bathroom in sight. I'm panicking now. So again, I'm not eating anything, I'm not drinking anything, I'm not really saying anything, and he notices and he's like, are you good? And I'm like, honestly, no, I don't feel good. Can we go home? We're packing up and he's taking his sweet time to get the blanket all folded up in the car, blah, 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 put the speaker away. Here I am by the door, clutching my stomach for dear life, and I'm like standing hunched over, like whining about my stomach, like borderline crying. Mind you, we are 30 minutes out of town. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. Like genuinely, I was afraid. So we're driving back, he's driving, he's not driving fast enough. I'm like sitting there not speaking, I'm looking straight ahead. I'm seeing white at this point. Like my stomach feels like it's full of hot lava. It's not good, it's not looking good. And if you're wondering, why didn't you ask him to pull over? Why didn't you ask him to stop at a gas station? I couldn't tell you. I don't know why I didn't ask him to. I guess I was like embarrassed, but like girl, what's more embarrassing? Asking him to pull off to a gas station or shitting your pants in his car? I don't pretend to understand the thought processes I had when I was like 20. Like I thought wasn't me, I wasn't her. Anyway, by some miracle of God, we make it to my house unscathed. And I'm just like, you know, I'll be right back. So I go to my bathroom and I'm sitting there, I'm in my bathroom probably 30 minutes, and I text him, I'm like, hey, you should probably leave. Like this, I'm gonna be here for a while. So during the time this is happening, I'm also experiencing jaw pain when I wake up. Like every morning, my back teeth and my jaw hurt so bad that I can't even open my mouth for like 30 minutes in the morning. But again, I don't think that any of these things are connected to the guy that I'm seeing. So eventually we realize, yeah, this isn't working out, and we stop seeing each other. I stopped having those severe stomach episodes like immediately, and the jaw pain gone in a week. That's finally when I realized my body was literally rejecting that man, and I just didn't put two and two together. The same thing happened with a different guy I was seeing. It wasn't stomach pain, but every time we hung out, I would come home with the most intense migraine of my life. The first time it happened, I kind of chalked it up to coincidence. I was like, okay, it's probably like the new perfume I'm wearing, or I didn't sleep enough, or I don't know, I drank too much coffee or something. I don't know. But then it would happen every single time. I would be fine all day. We'd hang out. I'd come home with a headache. It happened every single time. We stopped seeing each other. And what do you know? Headaches stopped too. So basically what I'm saying is listen to your body. Your body knows when something isn't right for you, and it will try to tell you, and you have to listen to it. And that's not to say that you're never gonna be nervous or like feel sweaty or like have butterflies when you first start seeing someone, but it should not be making you physically ill. Listen to your body.
Who you are intimate with is also extremely, extremely important.
I have a theory. Some of you aren't gonna like this, but I genuinely don't give a fuck. I don't think your soulmate would be thrown off your pH. I don't think your soulmate would be giving you yeast infections. I don't think your soulmate would be making you all funky down there. You don't need the douches and the washes. You need to throw the man away. It's clearly the wrong man. Maybe it's a physical sign that he is not in alignment with you. And when you understand that every sickness, illness, and ailment first starts out on an energetic and emotional level and then manifests physically, then this makes sense. Our body is always speaking to us, and maybe your hoo-ha is telling you that man's not the one.
One thing about your body is that it's always going to tell you when a man is not for you. And let me say that again. If your body is rejecting a man, please listen to it. There is a reason behind that. Call it a woman's instinct if you want. That's what I call it. But that shit has never fucking failed me. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to say when I was seeing this person, but I was seeing a guy, and from one day to the next, my body was like not allowing me to sleep. I had a raging fucking headache that kept me up like literally from 3 to 5 a.m. to the point that I was like trying to sleep it off, and I was like, no, like I need to take something. So whatever, I popped 2 Advils. I was able to get like an hour of sleep, couldn't even go to the gym because I was just exhausted. And like I woke up and I was like, something's wrong. Like something is not right over here. And of course, there was a shift in energy. Like the way that we were texting was just like completely different. Like it was out of routine. Like he was taking long to reply like throughout the day, which he usually doesn't. And I was like, okay, something's weird. Like I don't like this. And usually when that happens, it's because someone else is involved and whatever, that shit fucking happens. But then you think a man is gonna act like a man? No, he was acting like a straight up boy. This man posted on Instagram when he was on a fucking date. And I was like, yo, my body was trying to tell me that he ain't shit. And I know that it's very hard to meet someone that just wants to pursue one person, but please do not feed me the fake fucking story of like, I want something old-fashioned or like traditional. Like, shut the fuck up. No, you don't. Because if you want old-fashioned and traditional, you're gonna fucking pursue one person, and if it doesn't work out them, you're gonna fucking let them know. But yeah, little did I know that my body was just warning me that something was up. So I always listen to my body. Like if I ever get a feeling that something is not right, I trust myself enough to just know that person is not for me.
This is just your daily reminder that your body knows when it's the wrong person. Cold sores, UTIs, autoimmune flare-ups. Your body's telling you that it's rejecting that person. Listen to it.
I'm just thinking about the time that I was in a really toxic relationship. It was very much narcissistic abuse, and I said a joke the one day that like, oh my gosh, like you're buying me all this food, like stop, like you're gonna make me fat because man's bought me food all the time. You want to hear what he said to me? He said, yeah, that's the point, like I'm trying to like make you fat so that way like you have no choice but to go to the gym. I'm sorry, what? Fast forward to today that I am out of that relationship. Guess what? Guess what happened? I lost a fuck ton of weight because I was no longer in this relationship. Not only was he feeding me a lot, but your body literally tells you when you're not in the right relationship, okay? It literally was in constant fight or flight mode with this kid because this kid was always cheating on me, doing really fucked up shit behind my back. Like, it was not good. So next time you have something going on, maybe check out your surroundings, like what is going on in your life, because trust me, our body knows. It does a lot more than we think.
Did you know that your body will actually reject things when they are not meant for you? And this is people, places, and things. So this might sound kind of crazy, but you will literally get physical symptoms when you are with people or in places that does not resonate with your energy. This has happened to me before. It's happened to my sister. And actually one of the craziest stories was it happened to one of my friends. I'm going to tell you guys about it. So she was dating this guy for a while. And as they were getting kind of more serious and talking about settling down and buying a place, she started getting random anxiety and panic attacks out of nowhere. And she is not someone who has really struggled with these sort of things before. So it was completely new to her. She had no idea what was going on. It was like the craziest thing ever. And there was no reason for it. Nothing had changed. And so this started going on for almost 2 months before she decided, you know what, hey, this relationship isn't really serving me anymore. I don't feel right with it. I'm going to end things. And you guys, when I tell you, the second she ended that relationship, all of her anxiety gone, all of her panic attacks gone, and she hasn't had any since. It's been 3 years. So if you are with people or in places and you start getting random bodily symptoms that you don't normally get and you can't figure out why, it is because your body is rejecting the energy around you. Listen to it.
Did you know that if you are with the wrong person, your body will physically reject them before you even know that they're wrong for you? For example, if you are dating someone and you are seeing changes in your body that just feel unusual, pay attention to those. Those are little signs. It could be your skin, your appetite down there. If you notice that your skin is breaking out more so than usual, especially when you are around him, that can be due to increased stress. I once dated a guy, and within the first 3 months, I noticed so many changes within my body. I could not eat. My appetite had changed so drastically. I lost, I think, 15 pounds within the first 2 to 3 months. And looking back, I think it was literally just my body telling me that something was not right. I was anxious all the time. I didn't feel well. I had stomach issues. My skin was constantly breaking out, probably from the stress. And a lot of these things can be due to increased cortisol levels, hormonal changes, stuff like that, whatever. And another clear indicator that someone's wrong for you, if you are with someone and you notice when you are intimate with them that you are having issues with your pH, your period, anything down there, don't ignore that. I knew a guy was wrong for me when, after dating him for 3 months, I ended up in the hospital 2 times for kidney infections. Full-on hospitalized overnight stay for kidney infections. And I rarely ever have any health issues, especially anything relating to, that was a clear sign that this guy was not right for me. And also, not to psych you out, but if you do notice any changes in anything relating to that, if you're getting any type of infection, your pH is thrown off, sometimes that also can be an indicator that you are not the only person that they are sleeping with. Not always, but sometimes it really is just that that person is bringing outside germs, sharing them with you, and it is not agreeing with your body. A lot of times the first indicator that someone is not right for you, whether they are not faithful or just bad for you in general, they're physical signs. And a lot of times we can't see this ourselves because we are blinded by how we feel about them. We are blinded by love. Don't ignore the physical signs, okay? Your body will reject someone who is wrong for you. Listen to that.
Our bodies, not just our minds, can give us clues that someone isn't right for us. And I don't mean just gut feeling or a general sense of discomfort. I'm talking about actual physical reactions, headaches, stomach problems, skin breakouts, or even serious things like frequent UTIs or yeast infections. Wow, I never thought of this. Now, as a guy, I'll say I don't experience these things, but it's really fascinating to think about how our bodies might react when we are in a situation that isn't good for us. So what really struck me is how much we might overlook these signs or even dismiss them. It really made me think about times I've felt off or uneasy around certain people. Maybe I wasn't getting a headache or a stomach ache, but I definitely felt drained, tired, or just not myself after spending time with them. So it's like, wow, really wow. Could that have been my body's way of telling me something? Hey, this person's energy is not meshing well with yours. Something like that. And I never thought about it in that way, to be honest. But the part that really got me thinking was about smell. Whoa. Apparently, if you start to find someone's natural scent off-putting or even disgusting, that could be a biological cue that this person isn't a match for you. As a guy, I never gave much thought to something like that. I'm sure many of the other guys will say likewise. I mean, we are not usually sitting around thinking about pheromones, right? Yeah, we don't think about that. But it's actually pretty interesting when you consider how primal attractions and compatibility can be. Oh, this is a huge point in this video where she mentioned was feeling dirty or needing to shower after being with someone. Now, I'm not saying I've ever felt like I needed to jump in the shower after hanging out with someone, but I can see how that will be a huge red flag. So it's almost like your body is saying, hey, this energy isn't good for me. So this was a new perspective for me. Like, wow, maybe there is more to attraction and chemistry than I had realized or even knew. I think most men will be surprised by this. But the video also talked about how when a woman's body knows she's with the wrong person, she might start getting physical symptoms like UTIs, infections, or just feeling physically unwell around them. Now, I can't relate to this directly, to those experiences, but it did make me think about how our bodies can really pick up on things before our minds do. This is really important because as men, we might not get these same symptoms, but maybe we have our own versions of them. Maybe it could be feeling on urge, anxious, or just off in ways we can't really quite put our fingers on. I think it's got to do with how emotional men are. We don't really play into our emotions, right? Most men, they don't do that. And one thing I found really fascinating in these videos was the idea that women can subconsciously know when someone is lying or being dishonest. In this video, they talked about women physically reacting like being unable to be intimate or feeling repulsed. That's a powerful thought, I must say. The idea that a woman's body could just know the truth before her mind does, it really makes me wonder if there are things it makes me wonder if there are things we as men can be more aware of in our own bodies when something just isn't right. I think it also got me thinking about how we tend to ignore our body's signal. How often do we push through discomfort or dismiss those little warning signs because we are too focused on what we want or what we think we should feel? And I think there's a lesson here for both men and women to really tune in more closely to what our bodies are telling us, to be honest. And another thing that stood out to me was the idea that if someone makes you feel anxious or uncomfortable, like you can't sleep or you feel constantly on the edge, that's a huge sign. And the video even mentioned that when someone's energy doesn't align with yours, your body might struggle to feel safe or relax around them. And honestly, I think this applies to men just as much. If you're with someone and you can't relax, if you're constantly feeling drained or unease, maybe that's your body just trying to tell you something. So listen to it. So like I told you at the start of this video, what I'm really taking away from all of this is a few things. Actually, the first is it's a reminder to trust your instincts. And I don't mean just the thought in your head, but also the signal your body is giving you, whether it's that tightness in your chest or that sense of unease or even just feeling exhausted after spending time with someone. All of these could be signs that something isn't quite right, and you must listen to that. And secondly, it's made me more aware of how much our physical and emotional worlds are connected together. We talk a lot about mental health, but I think we should also consider how our bodies respond to people and environments around us. there's clearly more going on than we realize, especially the men. The women may have picked up on some of these, but the men are way behind on this. I must say, that's as for me, I'll say that. I don't know about other men out there, but this is something we should look into and try to tap into if we want to really have good and better relationships in our lives. And lastly, I'll say it's a reminder that relationships should make us feel good, safe, and at ease. Yeah, if you can't have any either of that, I mean, or even just one is lacking, it's a problem. If you're not feeling that way, if you're constantly anxious, tired, or feeling off, maybe it's time to just take a step back and try to figure out why. So I'd love to just hear from you guys. Have any of you really experienced something like this before? For the guys, I know many ladies, as you can tell from this video, many ladies they get this all the time. Guys, do you think there is some truth to the idea that our bodies know before our minds do? So just drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. For the ladies, those of you, maybe there are some other ways that your body tells you how to reject the man, or your body is telling you, oh, reject this guy, it's not good. Just let us know how what symptoms, or how would I say, yeah, symptoms you have when your body is telling you this is not the guy. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with the Black Coffee Podcast today. And if you found this as interesting as I did, this surprise video, I learned so many things today. Just make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more and more content. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned, just stay curious, and just listen to your body. Cheers.